Guys, Collier and my son Max, welcome back to Northcoast Constrictors. So it's a little bit of a different video today. This is a beauty rat snake, Ridley's cave-dwelling rat snake. Very aggressive. I've just cleaned her enclosure, which is an exoterra tank. It's in another room. It's actually in my son's room. It's not here in the ball python room, which is set at a certain temperature. These snakes, the ambient temperatures are a lot lower, or they live in caves where it can be a lot higher. So, but anyway, she prefers the vivarium. But she's in a tub now, and I'm going to take her out, and I'm going to do a little bit of socializing with her. Probably going to get bitten a few times. She is a bit of a handful. Max, please just stand a little bit back so she's not that intimidated. Last time I handled her and I did a video on her, she was actually alright. Okay, so just she's nervous and kind of checking me out at the moment. Obviously don't want to get bitten. I got bitten last night by another snake, so I just don't feel like getting bitten 2 days in a row. And I got bitten, but anyway. So a little tag, nothing serious, but this is a cave-dwelling rat snake. She is freaking out a little bit at the moment, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my voice. She's gone into a very defensive mode now. She hasn't been pulled out and handled for a long time, a good couple of months. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to allow her to kind of move around, and what she's doing, a defense mechanism on these snakes is called musting. Okay, she's a colubrid, but she can excrete a scent from her glands through her body, which it gives off a very pungent odor. Okay, now she's a very beautiful snake if you look at her, and she's growing. I think from the last video that I did on her, you can see that she's grown quite a bit. If you've watched my previous videos, I've got to try and keep the rest of my hands my movements around her quite slow, otherwise she'll take another bite out of me somewhere. I took a little tag there on my finger, but no blood. But you can see she's growing quite nicely. She's actually starting to calm down a little bit. These are actually very rewarding snakes to have. They are not really for beginners. I wouldn't recommend it. They are very whippy. They are, they can be a handful. You've got to be able to maneuver and hold them in a way, because they can get out your hands very, very quickly. All right, they're very whippy and they can get out your hands quite quickly. They elongate their throat vertically, as a cobra would spread its hood out. So this snake actually presses its neck in, so it's kind of like the opposite effect. And she did that in the beginning. I can smell on my hand she's been musting, but she's now stopped that, and she's stopped the elongation of her throat, and she's starting to calm down. Now guys, this is just about, you can see how my hands are nice and open. She's just starting to chill out now and relax. She's moving. She's stopped whipping around so much. A defense mechanism also, or when you can see the snake is highly agitated, is the tail here whips back and forth. It flickers very, very intensely. Now she's stopped doing that. You know, when you've got a lot of snakes in your collection, I've only got one of these. I've got hundreds of ball pythons, I've got retics, I've got boas, Dumeral's boas. I've only got one of these. I don't spend enough time holding her. Sorry, Max. Come and tell us what you think of this snake from a kid's perspective. What do you think of this? By the way, her name is Riley. It's a female. What do you think of Riley?
She's very beautiful.
Okay. Come a little bit closer. You think you can handle her?
Probably not.
You don't think so? You want to try?
No.
Okay, you want to hold out both, don't make any sudden movements, but hold your hands open nicely like that, and we'll just let her go through your hands a little bit. hold it up so that the camera can see, and we'll let her go through your hands a little bit. Okay, so obviously she's got no venom. There you go, like that. So this is a harmless snake. It's very inquisitive. Just watch out your nose that she doesn't give you a little tag on the nose there. Obviously, guys, the more you hold your snakes, the more social they become. You can see she's already calmed down significantly. She realizes now that I'm not a predator. I'm not out to harm her. I'm not going to do anything to her that's going to cause her any kind of pain. I'm not going to try and eat her. She's just not used to this at all. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put her back in her enclosure, and I'm going to record that now. I'm just going to move to the next room, so there'll be a little bit of a transition in the video, and then I'm going to record her going back into her enclosure, and you can see what kind of an enclosure she stays at. Before I do that, let's just have a look at the colorations on this snake. Okay, you see her head there, that black and blue, and then she goes into like an orangey, tanny kind of color down her back. Then she's like a bit gray, and then down the bottom half of her body, down to the bottom third, you can see she's got this amazing yellow dorsal right down to the tip of her tail. Now, something else and I don't want to irritate her too much, is if you look at the back where her cloaca is by my pinky finger now, you can see that's where her cloaca is. You can see how much tail there is at the end of her cloaca. That's what they use to hold on to the stalactites in the caves, and then they launch out and catch bats. So that there's it's extra long. You can see the thin part of her tail that they actually hold on and anchor themselves with that part of the tail. Well, what a magnificent colubrid. What a stunning snake, guys. And she'll get a lot bigger than this. She'll probably get about, I would say, 1.5 times. I reckon she can get to at least 6 feet long. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and put her back in her enclosure. She's had a good 10 minutes of handling now, and I think it's time for her to just chill out a little bit and go back into her enclosure. So stand by for that. Okay, guys, so here we are with the cave-dwelling rat snake. This is her enclosure here. It's a vivarium, exoteritank. Above her is another vivarium with a leopard gecko inside, and we're just going to go ahead and put her back inside her enclosure, nice and gently, like that. She's going to have all new smiles. It's just been cleaned and sterilized. And then boom, and then latch up, and this is where she lives. And now she's going to go around and smell, and everything's been nice and cleaned. And then it's just the right way to keep your snakes, and also try and handle them a little bit more. She needs to get more attention. Anyway, guys, that's just a little video on the cave dwelling rat snake. And it's over and out from Cold Northcoast Constrictors. Please, if you haven't done so already, hit like and subscribe. Cheers for now.